Morning, it's Patsy. I hope I don't start sneezing. I've been sneezing all morning. I can't stop. So I'm feeling a bit bunged up in that, but it's just because I'm sneezing. I've not got a cold, I don't think, but time will tell, I suppose. But yeah, so today I thought I'd continue with what I started last week about how I use my tarot. And today I'm going to talk to you about spreads, how I use tarot decks and whether I use spreads and how I use the spreads, etc. I don't very often use set spreads. I very often do more of a freestyle, I suppose, without set positions. I think set positions can restrict a reading, so I don't tend to do too many of those. Occasionally, if it's for self-work or whatever, or a spread looks interesting, I'll do it. And sometimes they work out great, you know. Sometimes you don't get an awful lot from them, I don't think, because they're too rigid in their settings. And for that reason, I don't really use the Celtic Cross very often because of the structure of the actual spread. But again, it depends on what your question is. I more often than not use the 4 cards what I showed quite often on here, where the first card will be the situation or the energy around that situation, or if it's a general, the energy that you need to know what's around you. The second card will always be what the obstacles are, what's, you know, with that. The third card, what you can do to overcome them obstacles, and the fourth card will be how that, you know, the outcome will be, a possible outcome could be if you follow through with the advice given in the third card of how you can overcome the obstacles. So that is the card that I'll mainly use for myself and for quick readings, you know, for, you know, when I want to show reading to or something. So that'll be like the main one that I'll use. I do use a spread for deck reviews. With new decks, I would use a deck review spread for that. And for my past life readings, I will. And for my spiritual readings, spirit readings and what have you, and ancestor readings, they do have particular spreads that I use for those, but that's about the main ones. I think you can get an awful lot from 3 cards, and you know, whether that's past, present, future, mind, body, spirit, or the positives and negatives, the outcome, whatever, you know, you want to set the intention for those 3 cards. I think you can get an awful lot out of 3 cards. So 3 cards is another thing that I'll use too. So the 3 and 4 cards, like I said, are the main sort of quick readings that I do. And you can make them as long as you want, because you can get so much out of each individual card, and, you know, different things. And you can get such a good reading just with those 3 cards. So, like I said, the only real time I use spreads is occasionally. Even though I put spreads on here, sometimes some look interesting and I'll try them. But more often than not, I don't. And I'll just go with what I'm feeling, and then how many cards I'll lay and what have you. I'll very often do a 6 card, which is in the pyramid, you know, with the top card being the energy. I've showed that before. 2 cards underneath, one I usually set as the positive energy around the situation. The second card underneath being the negative influence of the situation, and then the 3 at the bottom is sort of like how things could lead up to an outcome and how it could all kind of pan out. So I use that one quite a lot, and I use the 9 spread cards quite a lot as well. And I am going to now turn the camera around and show you a 9 spread and how I use a 9 spread to give you a kind of idea of how I use 9 cards to do a full reading. So I'm going to have to stop this to turn the camera around to do the reading, and then I'll come back after the reading. This is the 9 card spread that I was sort of talking about, that I use quite a lot. And I use it very much in the way that you can read it that way. I mean, in something, you know, depending on what your situation, what the question, you can do past, past, the now, the future, or you can go past, now, the future, if that's the way you want to do it, or you can do it mind, body, spirit, or mind, body, spirit, whichever way, as long as you set your intentions when you put them out. But you compare them, so you compare these two together, you compare these two together, you compare these two together. You can work within the corner, so you can put this one with this card and then go around to this card, to this card. And the other way that you pair them in Lenormand is you go 3 and then 2. So you pair these two together. You can go again 3, 2. So you can get that this one is paired with this one, and the same this one. You can go 3, 2. So that one's paired with this one. So there's many ways that you compare this, or you know, to get so much more out of the reading. The central card, when I do like a situation, I'm not, you know, reading about a situation or a certain question or the week ahead, like the central card will be the main focus. So, you know, with this one, it's a 2 of Wands, so that'll be for my week ahead. If I'd set this for the week ahead, then this would be my main focus for the week ahead. Is going to be about looking to the future, putting things into plan for the future, and start building on those ideas and new things that was going on with me. You know, it's like putting them into action, start putting things together and working on getting things going. So that would be like the central card. Then the first 2 cards would be like the main theme. So this is sort of like in a week ahead spread, it'd be like it's going to be a week of starting to put these ideas into the future sort of thing, and start working to get my ideas out there. But the Ace of Swords, of course, is all about a new start, you know, getting, and the Swords is thoughts, ideas, so it kind of ties in very well with the main card. So it's again, it's about starting out and putting those thoughts into action. The 4 of Swords next to it is saying, you know, it's going to be a time where you've got all this, you know, thoughts going on, and you know what you want to do, and it's now time to put them in plan. But taking time out just to sort of sit and think about things properly, and just taking a rest from everything what's gone on, to clear your mind of what it is that you want to do, and setting it out for the week, you know, for the future. So this is the main theme of the week, you know, not to rushing into things, start putting the plans into action that you want to do. New idea, you know, start taking these new ideas and working with these ideas, but then just sit with them before rushing ahead and doing anything. Meditate on them even, you know, because the man's in a meditation position. But it's about taking time to sort of sit back and take a step back, allowing these thoughts to start to come into action, but without any main rush. Do you know what I mean? So that would be like the 3 main cards, but then the rest would kind of slot in into the reading of the week ahead. With the Page of Cups, it's talking about messages, you know, get it out properly, messages coming in, messages on an emotional level. So, you know, that might be that there's something coming in that it's going to be, you know, unexpected but happy. You know, it's going to be unexpected, but it's going to be good news. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, the week ahead could be bringing in some good news. It could be good news about this idea and plans that you've got going on. And then again, if we go to the next one, you know, we've got the Justice card. So it's going to be about, you know, making sure that you have balance into whatever this situation is that you know, you're trying to get, or this new venture that you're trying to set up or whatever. It's making sure that you've got balance, but, you know, and by not rushing into things, but carefully thinking things through, taking time to sort of thing, to not rush into it, but to sort of sit with it, things will work out in your favour. And the sun kind of tells you that, do you know what I mean, that things will turn out great. But, you know, you just need to not rush into things, to think things through carefully, and plan things, you know, rather than just rushing in. And with the sun shining down, you know, it's going to work out just fine. It's going to be a good, you know, good time. But then again, you know, we've got the 5 of Wands down here. So it's talking about there may be some struggles, kind of, you know, with ideas, thoughts and plans, and this is why you shouldn't be rushing into things. This is why you should be sort of taking time to sort of sit back and taking your time to think things through, you know. backwards and forwards with other people, with your ideas and your plans, but not in a, you know, it's not in an argumentative way, but just even in your head, you know, just backwards and forwards. Should I do this? Should I do that? It's that kind of thing. Do you take the traditional route with the Hierophant, or again, do you try something new? Because the Hierophant isn't always about tradition and convention. You know, it can be, you know, that you can teach something different, something new, a different way of thinking about things, and, you know, reaching this high level of emotional fulfillment is all can come this week, the week ahead, if your plans are thought through fully and you don't rush into anything, and you sit with it for a little while and weigh everything up and allow things to happen naturally, and everything will work out great. So this is the kind of thing. And then, like I said, you can pair them up, so you can go with the Ace of Swords. So these new ideas and these ventures can turn out great. So again, you know, it's kind of telling you that, you know, this could you go 3-2, so then you can go 3, so the Ace of Swords and the, you know, the Five of Wands. So yes, these thoughts and ideas, but there's gonna, you know, don't rush into it, because, you know, think things through backwards and forwards, you know, think of a few ideas and kind of, you know, that kind of thing. So you see what I mean? This is what the kind of messages you can get from just these 9 cards. And like I said, if you wanted to put them in columns of past, now, future, you know, then you can do it. As long as you set your intentions, before you put them down, then you can do anything with the 9 cards. Do you know what I mean? In any format that you want. But this is the kind of spread that I use mainly, because you can just add more cards if you need more questions. You can even use the bottom of the deck if that's your intentions, and we've got the Two of Pentacles again, which goes with the Justice card about, you know, balancing, you know. So the world is your oyster, as they say with this spread. You can do so much with this spread. And yes, it's a typical Lenormand spread, but there's no reason you can't use it in tarot. And I love using it with all decks. It answers so many questions, and it can go so in depth, because there's so many different ways you can pair these together and work with them, that you get a great reading. So that is one of the spreads that I wanted to show. So that's how I kind of use the 9 card spread. And for that spread, I was using the Arcanum deck that I bought a little while ago, and I do really enjoy using this deck. So that's the deck that I was using, the Arcanum, which is by Lo Scarabeo, I think. Yeah, Lo Scarabeo. So that gives you an idea of the kind of spreads that I do. Sometimes, if I've got somebody in front, you know, will come for a reading, I'll very often do a 21 card, and then I do real in-depth, lasting a couple of hours with those 21 cards. But very often then I will do that as past, present, and then the future, because most people who come to me will want to know some things about what is going to happen, you know, coming up in the next 6 months or what have you. And that's why most people will come to me for a reading. So I'll very often then do a 21 cards, but then the top 7 will be past energies, what now coming, you know, coming into play, then the present, and how this is going to kind of work into the future, and if they don't like what they see, things that they need to change and what have you. And then again, you can put the columns going down the sets of 3 into different sections too, if that, you know, as long as, again, you know, I think the main thing is what your intention is, what you set out, and you stick to your intentions. I think that's the main thing with reading cards, not so much placements of cards, if you like, but more to do with setting your intentions in your head before you lay the cards, and sticking to what you've put in your head, not liking the outcome of the cards that you put out. So think, you know, okay, I'll lay another, you know, 7 out, you know. Always set that intention in the first place. You know, if you do want to lay extra cards, then take from the spread something that you're unsure of, ask the question and reshuffle the cards you have, and lay them again. Do you know what I mean? To get the extra cards. And even like one card, you know, just ask for a card to clarify what you're seeing, you know, and pull another card. Again, it's all, to me, it's all about the intention, not the place where that card falls in set spreads, if you get what I mean. So I hope that kind of gives you a bit of insight of how I read the cards, and I will speak to you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.